What do you think life is? I would like you to tell me in the comment section what you think life is. What is your theory of everything? Why do you think we exist? I'll be celebrating my 31st birthday in a few hours. By the time I upload this, it'll be my birthday. I exist. That is a big deal. The fact that you exist is a big deal. You exist. You are having an experience. I was thinking a lot about the highlights of my life. I was thinking a lot about experiences that made me the person that I am today. And I was asking myself, could I have been better than I was? Could I have done things better? Could I have responded to life's problems better? Or I actually did most of the things right. I actually responded to life's problems the way that I should have and the way that I should. Do you think that each and every person that's here in this world can have a good experience if they do everything right? You do everything right. You do everything right. You think it's possible for each and every sentient being to have a good experience? Or it's all rigged? Some people will have a good experience and some people will have a horrible experience. Like, there's no way around it. No matter how hard you try to do things right, because some people should have horrible experiences, some of y'all would still find yourself having horrible experiences. And some of you will have experiences that break you. There's this episode of Black Mirror that I've watched some few years back. I forgot the name of the episode, but if you've watched Black Mirror, probably know the episode. In that episode, they had technology that allowed people to block one another. You can block a person in real life, so you don't get to hear what they're saying to you. You don't even get to recognize them. See, but they'll be able to recognize you, but you can't hear them because you blocked them. Some people were not blocked by anyone. Some people were blocked by many people. Remember, there's this guy who ended up being blocked by everyone. Like, not necessarily blocked by everyone, but he, as a punishment for a crime that he committed, he wasn't allowed to interact with anyone. So it was like everyone blocked him. So he couldn't talk to anyone. So he was able to see everyone, but he couldn't talk to anyone. They wouldn't be able to hear him. Don't you feel like life is kind of like that? Like, there are some people that are not allowed to connect with other people. They're lonely. They're alone. Some people can connect with some people. Some people are allowed to connect with more people. Yeah. Find that people just love you, man. Everywhere you go, people just love you. Everyone wants to be your friend. Everyone wants to be close to you. But some people, no one really likes them. No one really wants to talk to them. So they are alone even when they're surrounded by people. Isn't that the worst punishment? Isn't that worse than jail? I remember that guy after they blocked him from everyone. He wanted human connection. He wanted to interact with other humans. But no one was responding. No one was responding. I think there are some people that we don't really take seriously in this world. No matter what they say, we don't take them seriously. It's like we've blocked them. We don't want to connect with them. Some people, when they call us, we don't want to talk to them even when they need us. Some people who love us, we don't want to love them back. We don't want to have that kind of connection with them. And there are a lot of people who don't even find that kind of connection at all. What do you think that does to a person? I think we should appreciate people who are in our lives. Remember what I told you on the video? I was talking about why you should stop caring, and that's when the magic happens. I told you all that you must reward life for the beautiful things that you have. If there's something that's positive in your life, reward life for that. Give your energy to these positive things, and if there are negative things that are going on in your life, don't pay attention to these things. Some people think that when I say they should stop caring, I'm saying they must do nothing at all. I'm saying reward life for what you like about it, for the things that it has given you that you actually love. So reward life by appreciating these things and focus on these things that you appreciate that life has given you, and never pay attention to the things that you don't appreciate. Like every time, always be asking yourself, okay, this is where I'm at. What can I do that's a bit exciting, other than like focusing on the negative stuff? This doesn't mean that this is a good experience, but I think that is the best way to live life. Because it sucks. We all know that it sucks. People will tell you that it doesn't suck, lying to themselves, or they're just dumb. We also have to, acknowledge the fact that some people are stupid. Some people are more conscious than others. I remember today on Facebook, I came across a video of a dog crying because its puppy died, and this guy was trying to bury the puppy, and the dog kept on digging. because it didn't want that puppy to be buried, and it cried. It was like a lot of dogs wouldn't cry. A lot of dogs wouldn't even care. There are dogs that will eat their own puppies, but that dog is crying because it's more conscious than a lot of dogs. It understands that it will never see that puppy again, and it understands that what happened is painful because it's conscious. There are human beings who are not conscious, who can't even understand, well, like when things that are painful happen, like they don't feel anything. To them, it's just life, and it's not because they're more conscious, or I mean stronger than people who feel something, but they're just not conscious. Like, they're just not conscious, so they're not affected by horrible things that are happening in the world. But people who are very conscious are affected by these negative things that are happening in the world. And that's why some people are unable to cope. It's because they are truly affected by the things that are happening in the world. They are affected by the things that are happening in this reality. What do you do when you've been like affected deeply by messed up things that are happening in this reality? If you are more conscious than other people and you are able to see what's really going on, if you were able to communicate with the dog that I'm talking about, what would you tell it? Because obviously it's more conscious than a lot of dogs, and it's truly affected by what happened. I think the answer is to reward life for the things that we love about it. Focus on that. I think the day you were born was the day that we got sentenced, and we will go through a lot in this experience. And we must understand that bad things will happen no matter what. Everything is upside down. We will see people who are ignorant get into power and they will control us. It's how it works. You can't really change that. You can't really change nature. Things work that way in this reality. That's why we were never able to fix any of the problems that we have. And these problems keep on getting worse. Especially when we kept on reproducing even when things weren't working out. It's very obvious to me that we're not having a positive experience. But I'm not mad, I'm not angry. I'm disappointed, but I'm not mad, I'm not angry. I just want to try to do the best that I can do. Like live a life that I'll be proud of in the end. Be honest, not allow fear to stop me. Speak my truth, express myself as honestly as I can. And be humble. I don't think anyone can change this world. I don't think it was supposed to be changed. So the best thing you can do is to try to evolve into the person that you'll be proud of in the end. Like when you look at your life, you're like, hey man, I did everything right. Life was what it was, but I did everything right. Or in the beginning, I wasn't doing everything right, but at some point in my life, I had learned my lessons and I started doing things right, and I'm proud of myself for that. If today was my last day here, I would want to feel proud. I would want to look back and be like, hey man, I did everything right. Or I did most of the things right. I mean, we can't control other people. We can't control how they feel. It doesn't work that way. So we need to focus more on ourselves. Growing up, I believed that I needed to be understood by other people. Like other people must understand me, but I realized that actually what I needed was to like truly understand myself. Like that's what was really important. Because the more you understand yourself, the more you love yourself. Like once you understand yourself, it's not easy for you to betray yourself. You'll become so confident that it will seem like you're cocky because you're in love with yourself. Like you love yourself. You're like, hey, I'm right. Because you'll see that you're right once you truly understand yourself. I mean, yeah, if there's some things that you are doing wrong, you would actually realize that easily. And you'll be able to improve and become like a better vision of yourself. It's a tough experience that we're having, and there's no doubt about that. If there are people who are telling you that it's not a tough experience, if there are people who are telling you this makes sense, I'm telling you, don't trust them. Some people are just not honest. You know what? This experience is like, it's like playing a video game with different animals, but having the same avatars. So you're playing like a video game with a dog and a cat and a snake. I mean, snake wouldn't know how to like play a video game. But you're playing this video game with different animals. These animals don't want the same things. See? Some of these animals are not honest. Some of these animals are extremely selfish. Some of these animals are conscious and they want things to be fair. But that's kind of like how life is. Like, we're not the same. That's what I've learned. We are not the same. Don't allow anyone to lie to you. Human beings are not the same, bro. Like, I've communicated with a lot of people, and I can tell you, we're not the same. We are not. I mean, there are people that I've communicated with that I realized were like me, but there are many people that I've communicated with and realized we're not the same species. Just because we look the same doesn't mean that we're the same. I think it is important that people try to understand life. Try to understand life. Try to understand what this is, like what you're really doing here, and how to control yourself, control your emotions. Like, you to try to master your emotions. How can you be the best version of yourself? Being able to respond better to situations. How can I respond better to every situation that I come across? Because you can respond poorly to situations that you deal with, to problems that you deal with. You can respond poorly. But you can learn. And this is not about getting good results. This is about you being proud of yourself. This is not about trying to like manipulate reality. Like, hey, what is the best way to respond in this situation? Like, you're gonna end up being super manipulative and you're gonna end up being fake. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you responding in a way that will make you feel proud in the end. In some situations, you'd have to do things that are going to hurt other people. That's what makes sense, because that's what like really makes sense. So some situations you'd have to try to connect with people. You find that that's really what makes sense. In some situations you'd have to be selfish. And in some situations you have to be selfish. So you should live a life that you're going to be proud of in the end, because you've been making the right decisions. You look back and be like, yeah, man, yeah, I was making the right decisions. But try to figure out what the right decisions are. And try to focus on the positive things that are happening in your life, your friendships. I mean, there are some people in your life who don't suck, right? Try to connect more with them instead of focusing on people who suck. There's some people in your life who actually suck, and you are giving them your energy, and they don't really deserve it. There are people who deserve your energy. Focus on these people. Understand that we're just animals, man. We're just animals, and we will feel the way animals feel in some situations. Like, there are some people that will take for granted just because we're animals, not because they ain't shit, but because we're animals. It's not that easy to take a person seriously who's treating you good. Like, it's not easy for you to appreciate them until, and this is important, until they're gone. That's when you realize that, damn. So try to focus on the positive things, try to like make every moment count. um, I'm not saying to y'all that this is a good experience, but it's also important to try to cope. It's also important to just like try to cope. By focusing on what you want to focus on. Life is a movie, but in this movie you can focus on the things that you love. Even if there ain't that many things that you love, but you can focus on these things. And if these things hurt you, keep on trying to find what doesn't hurt you. I mean, there's some things that are gonna hurt you, but not because these things are bad for you, but because you have to like heal. There's some things that will trigger you. Like you can watch a video on YouTube that actually triggers you, but not because that video is bad, but because you still need to heal. I remember there's this video that I published yesterday. I saw a comment. This person was saying, something is off with you because you're making people unhappy. I think they said something like that. Because on a video, I started by saying that something is off with life. So that person was like, something is off with you because you're making people unhappy. What that person needed to realize is if what I'm saying is really true. Like, am I right? There are some things that people can tell you that will trigger you, but not because these things ain't true and these things ain't going to help you, but because you've been living a lie your whole life. You see? So try to focus on the positive things, man. Try to focus on people who are doing you right, people who are treating you right. Focus on the things that you have that are good. If you can work out, work out. You don't need to become a bodybuilder. Just work out. Wake up in the morning, work out. If you got some money, buy yourself nice things. Spoil yourself. Yeah, try not to suffer. Like, try to not be miserable. Try to not focus on your miseries. Try to focus on the good stuff in your own life, because life is not easy, man. Life is far from easy. I'm a very honest person, and I'm telling you, this is not easy. Now, people can look at you and be like, hey, you're doing good, but it's not easy. It's like it's not easy for anyone. Maybe there are some people who are coping better than others, but I think that also has to do with the way that they perceive reality. I think some people just don't see things as they are, so yeah, they'll be happier than people who are able to see things as they are. The dog that was crying probably will be more sad than dogs who ain't affected when their puppies die, because it's more conscious. Like, it realized what happened. Like, when it saw that guy burying that puppy, it knew exactly what was going on. Like, it cried, bro. One of the most saddest videos that I've ever watched. You can see it's a tough experience for every sentient being. And the more conscious you become, the more you realize that, damn, this is horrible. Like, try to be positive, but I don't mean it the way that other people mean that. Like, try to be positive, but try to live a life that you'll be proud of, man. Like, you should be able to look back in January next year and be like, damn, like, I've been doing things right. I've been treating people who are in my life right. I wasn't toxic. I didn't allow my traumas to like affect how I treat other people. You know, I didn't allow my anger to control me. And try. When I was younger, I used to like be very angry. Like, I would get angry, bro. I wasn't able to control my anger. Because the more intelligent you are, the harder it is for you to control your anger. I hate saying I'm intelligent, but I genuinely believe I am. So, hey, if that makes people feel uncomfortable, it is what it is, man. But I genuinely believe I'm intelligent. But yeah. Here's the thing: when you are like really intelligent, let's say you are living with people who are wrong about a lot of things, that's gonna like trigger you, because you'll be able to see how things should be done. You'll be surprised why people be making dumb decisions, while you know exactly what kind of decisions they need to be making. I've been right about a lot of things growing up that people who were older than me were wrong about. So that did affect me. Sometimes I'll be super angry because I was ahead of my time. I remember Kanye West said something that made me laugh this other day. He was like, yo, sometimes it's not that I'm not right. I'm just not right now. I thought that was funny because most people who are ahead of their time are like that. And sometimes it seems like they're wrong, but the truth is that they're just not right now. So sometimes it's not that they're wrong. Sometimes they're just not right now. So it seems like what they're saying doesn't make sense, but then it's gonna make sense in the future. But people do come back to me and say, hey, you were right about this, you're right, and I hate that. Don't you guys ever learn that I've like usually not wrong? I mean, I'm never wrong, but I don't want to say it that way. No, I'm serious, man. Like, when I feel like something is right, when I feel like something is true, it turns out to be true. You know, this is the kind of person I am. Like, if I feel strongly that something is the way that I feel it turns out to be that way. I mean, there are things that I've been wrong about, but things that I just don't give a shit about. Like, it is what it is. Sometimes I can say, okay, Conor McGregor is going to beat Mayweather, and then Mayweather beat Conor McGregor. That's nothing. It doesn't matter. It's just sports. It's rigged. But when it comes to like real serious things, I'm never wrong. I am able to see things as they really are, because these are the things that I truly care about. So I hate it when people come back to me later and be like, you were right about this, you were right about that. I'm like, how is it that you didn't see that I was right? Because it takes a lot of energy to explain something that is true, and people still don't understand you. Like that, it takes a lot of energy, bro. Like, you feel drained. That's why I don't like explaining myself to people anymore. Like, you're not gonna understand. Like, you're not gonna get it. So I'm not going to like waste my energy trying to explain something to you that I think you're not going to be able to understand. What I should focus on is understanding myself more. That should be the focus. How do I understand myself more? Life is like a weird psychedelic trip, man. Everything is like upside down. Everything. And it seems like it's upside down for a reason. Like someone wants it to be that way. You could have been happy if you were supposed to be. You could have been happy if you were supposed to be. It's like you were never really meant to be happy. You're meant to struggle and suffer and go through hell. But what really matters is how you respond to everything. Respond in a way that you'll be proud of. Like, I remember growing up, because I used to make a lot of mistakes because I couldn't control my emotions. I would suffer because I wasn't able to control my emotions, and I wasn't able to do to respond right. But what really made me suffer was regret, like regretting how I responded to some situations. And why did I curse at this person? Why did I say this to this person? You know? Why couldn't I be calm and just say things that I mean, so that in the end I don't have any regrets? Once I mastered that, I would lose people but not feel bad, not feel that bad. Let me put it that way, because I didn't have any regrets. But like, yeah, I did everything right. It just didn't work out, or it's because like everything is temporary. So it is what it is. Or they just didn't like me, or they were in my life for the wrong reasons. But if I wasn't able to master my emotions and treated people who are in my life like shit, I think I would drown in my own regrets. Why did I treat these people poorly? It's my fault. It's my fault that they hate me now. It's my fault that they don't like me anymore. It's my fault that they're not in my life anymore. Like, try to do everything right so that you'll have no regrets. Let life be life. Don't be too attached to the messed up things that happen, but be attached to the good things that happen. And if these good things turn into bad things, find other good things to attach to. Just try to focus more on that. Like, try to be a person that you would want to be around, because you have self-actualized, you understand yourself, you've mastered your emotions, you don't say things you don't mean, and yeah, you behave in the best way possible, you know. I know life is constantly trying to trigger us. I know, constantly try to trigger you. I'm telling you, life will constantly try to trigger. I've been in a situation where I realized life was just trying to trigger me, but I remained patient because that I knew that I was like, nah, man, this wouldn't be happening. Life is just trying to trigger me, yeah? And I was like, I'm not gonna allow it to. I'm gonna be calm. And when it fails, things change for the better. Like usually, things change for the better. Like if life tries to trigger you and then it fails, things usually change for the better. If you realize that. Someone is so angry at you and they're trying to trigger you, trying to trigger you, but you're responding good all the time. You might find that that person changes and start treating you so well because they know they've made a big mistake and they're trying to make up for it. Like damn, like this person was so damn calm while I was talking shit. You still don't give a shit. You're like, it is what it is. Even after they come back. I mean, when they come back and try to treat you nicely, you allow them to treat you nicely. Like you don't care what happened. Like it is what it is. Like don't be a moody person. Don't allow your emotions to control you. Be in control. Make decisions that make sense. No, I'm saying this because this is what I've learned, and I want to be that person too. Like I'm doing very well, but I do believe I can be better. Like I believe there's always room for improvement. And because I'm turning 31 in a few hours, I want to be that person. I want to be better than I was last year. I know some people are concerned about my drinking. Like they do text me like, hey man, it seems like you're always drinking. But because I want to celebrate my birthday in a few hours, that's why I'm drinking. I don't want to like always be drinking like that. But I'm still the same person even when I'm drunk. I'm still the same person. I can drink the whole day and still be the same person. I'll just be able to express myself better. Like I didn't have a topic today, but I do believe that I've expressed myself better than I would have been able to if I didn't drink anything. Because I didn't have a topic, and I do have topics to talk. I always have topics to talk about, but I didn't wanna talk about anything specifically today. I just wanted to talk. You see, I just wanted to talk and just give y'all some insights without limiting myself by focusing on a certain topic. Back. Yeah, so like I was saying, man, learn to respond better to life. It's gonna trigger you. People are gonna do things that don't make any sense to you. People are gonna hate you for no reason. People are gonna gossip about you. People are going to mistreat you. Yeah, people are gonna do things that don't make sense. So it's up to you. Do you wanna give them your energy by responding negatively? Do you wanna say things that you're not gonna be proud of, like that gonna make you not proud of yourself in the end? Or are you gonna respond better to any situation that life throws at you? Like no matter what it is, like respond in the best way possible. And like I told you, that you don't necessarily have to respond um, in a way that other people are gonna like. Like someone mistreats you, doesn't mean that you respond in a way that they're gonna like. You respond in a way that you like. You understand what I'm saying to you? You respond in a way that makes the most sense to you. Some people will trigger you because they want to bring you down. Maybe because life programmed them that way. But you need to be strong. Being strong isn't being desensitized. Many people believe that people who are desensitized are strong. No, they're not strong. They just never felt anything. Just like if someone was afraid of ants and I wasn't afraid of ants, it wouldn't. I mean, I'm not afraid of ants, but yeah, if someone is afraid of ants, that doesn't mean that I must think they're weak, because I haven't felt the fear that they felt. I don't have their phobias. So I see an ant and I'm like, yeah, I don't feel anything. But because they feel something, that doesn't mean that they are weak. I haven't felt what they felt. Maybe if I felt what they felt, I'll be traumatized for life. Some people believe that if they feel nothing, it means that they are strong. No, you just don't feel anything. Some people believe that if they are not conscious, right? Like if they're not conscious, they're strong. Like, hey, you are complaining when you talk about this and that. And you try to have a conversation with them. Like, okay, fine. You think I'm complaining, fine. But let's talk about what's happening in the world. What do you think is happening? And you realize they don't know anything about what's happening in the world. So it's not like they're strong. They're just not conscious enough to see what you're seeing. You see? They're just not conscious enough to see what you're seeing. It's a tough experience that we're having, I'm telling you. Especially if you're conscious, bro. Like, especially if you're different, you'll see things. But you need to be different. You see, like, you need to, like, your behavior should show that you're different. You cannot behave like everyone else if you're different. If you're conscious. Don't allow anyone to bring you down because of their behavior, because of their lack of awareness, because they've been programmed to hate you. I was having a conversation with someone about demons. Not that I believe in demons, but I was telling them that, hey man, there are some people when they go to churches, when they pray for them, they fall and they start saying some things that don't make any sense. Here's the thing. Some people are controlled by some forces that we don't quite understand. That is why that happens. Some people say, oh, they're faking. No, they're not. I mean, some do fake. They do fake being possessed, but not everyone fakes being possessed. Some people are really possessed. I've seen people, like, You go with someone, like you go to a church with someone, and then that person, once the pastor prays, and they fall down and start rolling around uncontrollably, like, huh? What's going on here? Like, they're not faking. I mean, of course, everything is fake and scripted, but what I mean is that none of this is real. So they are not faking because none of this is real. Does that make sense? It's like if you watch WWE and you believed it was real, and someone told you that no, everything is scripted, it will kind of sound like it is. I mean, let me put it this way. So let's say Brock Lesnar does something, and someone says that is scripted. So it will make it seem like WWE is real. And then what Brock did was scripted, but other things are not scripted. No, this whole thing is scripted. But you must also realize there's levels. There's levels. You're still human, and you can't fully perceive it that way. Like, it's scripted, but in order to survive, you must also take some things as if they're kind of real. Like some experiences as if they're real, and some experiences as if they're not. Does that make sense? Like, for an example, if you're suffering from schizophrenia, there will be some experiences that are real, that everyone agrees is real, and some experiences that you have that are not real, right? There will be some people who will be in your life who are real, even though everything is scripted, but there will still be some people who are in your life who are fake. So look at it that way. But don't let this reality bring you down. Don't let this reality break you. It sucks. And it will never, trust me, it's not a good experience. It will never be a good experience. But you do have the power. That's what I want you all to realize. You do have the power to focus on what you want to focus on, and focus on these things that you want to focus on. If you feel like a lot of people have blocked you, right, in this world, a lot of people don't like you, a lot of people don't want to be intimate with you, a lot of people don't want to talk to you, have deep conversations with you, a lot of people don't want to text you, talk to you, don't focus on, don't think about that. I understand that you're gonna feel empty, but don't think about that. Don't think about, hey, but nobody wants to talk. Don't even entertain that thought. It is true, but don't entertain it. Figure out what's positive and focus on that. That one thing that is positive, focus on that. Because this life, man, it will mess you up. It's not a good experience. It sucks that we kind of not having the same experience. Some people suffer worse than others. Some people hated by more people. They are not accepted or loved by a lot of people. Well, some people are loved and accepted by many people. It's life. There's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing we can do about that. Me, I'm just gonna try to focus more on the positive things. I know that the matrix will keep on attacking me. It's gotta be a difficult experience. I don't expect this experience to be good, based on what I've seen. But I don't want to give it my energy for torturing me. as if I'm rewarding it for torturing me. I just won't do that anymore. Like, I'm not gonna take negative experiences seriously. If it means that I need to sleep, I'm just gonna sleep. If it means I'd need to listen to someone on YouTube, I'm gonna do that. If it means I need to watch some of my old videos, I remember I watched one of my old videos yesterday, and I was like, what the hell? I was making a lot of sense, and I loved the video. I didn't remember the things that I was saying, but I was making a lot of sense. So I got to understand what people get from watching my videos, because I forgot what I was talking about before watching the video, and I was like, wow, I get it. So try to focus on the positive things. Like, you're too conscious. I don't think there's a lot to learn. I mean, there is a lot to learn, but I mean, compared, like, if you're conscious, for you, because you're so damn ahead, you don't necessarily need to learn everything at once. You can focus more on the positive things. Humans are weird, man. Humans are weird. Focus on the positive things. Be a kind of person that you'll be proud of. Be the kind of person that you would want to be around. Don't let anger consume you. Don't let hatred consume you. Don't let jealousy consume you. Like, be on top. You understand? Like, be on top. Understand that you are a monkey, but you are more conscious than a monkey should be. So you're gonna feel like a monkey because you're a monkey, but you're more conscious than a monkey should be. So are you going to let your basic instinct control you, or are you going to be on top? You're going to be like, hey man, I'm gonna do what makes the most sense. I'm gonna live life in a way that makes the most sense. I'm afraid to do this, but I still want to do it, so I'm gonna do it because that's what I really want to do. I'm not doing what I'm doing. I don't want to do it because I'm afraid. I'm afraid of something bad happening or anything like that. I'm doing it because that's what makes the most sense. Like, be that kind of a person who does things that make sense, things that you'll be proud of. Do things that if they came to you in the end and said, yeah, it's your last day, bro, you need to reflect on your life, like the experiences that you've had. You'd look at these experiences and be like, I wasn't in control of what happens to me. It's like when you're in a dream, you can't control what happens to you, right? Things just happen. You can be in a dream and you want to have a good experience, but things just happen. But you can control how you respond to these things, right? And that's what actually matters. It's you responding to what is happening. It's how you respond. Respond in a way that when you look back at your life, you'll be like, dude, I've been doing things right. I don't give a damn what anyone says. I have been doing things right. I'm proud of myself. I'm actually proud of how I play this game, you see. it's not. It sucks like having regrets, man. It sucks, feeling like you could have done better. I mean, there's a lot to learn from your mistakes. There are a lot of mistakes that I've made in the past that I've learned from, and because I've learned a lot from these mistakes, I don't regret having done the wrong things that I've done because I've learned a lot from my mistakes. But it sucks having regrets, so you must keep on growing so that you will make fewer mistakes like the older you get, so that you don't have many regrets. You find yourself doing things that you can explain, you know, to yourself, of course, because it's not about other people. It's not about other people understanding you. You don't need other people to understand you, but you need to understand yourself. And yeah, be your own judge. Are you doing things the way that you want to do things? Other people, don't let them confuse you. They don't know what it's like to be you. They're not having uh, I mean, you might think they're having the kind of experience that you're having, but you don't know that. Like, they're not seeing life from your perspective. They're seeing life from their own perspectives, and they're having their experiences. You don't even know why we're having the experiences that we're having. So, be your own judge. Be your own God. There's no reason for you to not perceive yourself as a God. So be your own judge. Sometimes you'll do things that will make other people judge you. If they believe that you're wrong, but you don't believe you're wrong, trust yourself. You need to trust yourself. The truth is that this is hard, man. The things that I'm telling you to do, like focusing, like being able to master your emotions, being able to focus on the positive things, none of that is easy, right? Doing that is not easy. Like being able to respond better, like that's not easy. But you still gotta try. As long as you're here, you still gotta try. There will be progress. See, the more you try, the more you'll see progress. You never see progress if you're not trying. This world is not your friend. It's gonna keep on throwing problems at you. It's gonna keep on making your life difficult. It's not your friend. It's not trying to give you positive experiences. No. So learn to respond better. Actually, try to make you feel good. Try to make you feel good. What do I mean? Let's say something negative happened and you respond better. That should make you feel good. Like, hey, I've responded better in this kind of a situation. Like, look at it as a game. Like, life is gonna throw some fucked up shit at you, but you're gonna respond better, because that's how it is. It does that. It does that to try to trigger you, but what you do is you try to respond better. You don't let it consume you. You don't let it bring you down. keep your head up and make decisions that you'll be proud of. Try to understand yourself more. Stop seeking for other people's approval. Seek for your own approval. If you are doing the work that I'm saying you should be doing, seek your own approval. Can't trust other people, man. I keep on telling y'all guys that there can never be anything wrong with any of you. Even if you're making mistakes, doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Just try to do better next time. You can make mistakes now, but that doesn't mean you'll be making the same mistakes tomorrow. There are people who are not making the mistakes that you're making. But it's possible that tomorrow you'll be making less mistakes than they're making if you really want to change. So don't beat yourself up if you've been making mistakes. If you have regrets, if you feel like you could have been better in a certain situation, don't beat yourself up. Yeah, it's a tough journey, guys. It's a tough journey. I ain't gonna lie to any of you. It's a tough journey for me. It's not easy. It's hard, and sometimes it gets super hard. But I think I'm making good decisions. I think I'm making good decisions. It's not easy being a conscious person in a world like this where ignorance always wins. It's weird. Have you ever been so right, but you still found yourself being treated as if you're wrong and you're right, and then people realize that you were right when it's too late? We live in a world where ignorance rules. It's always been that way. That's why most people do things that don't make any sense. They're controlled by their own ignorance. Yeah, man, let's keep on trying. Thank you all, guys.